Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Sean, bassist for Remember the Monsters, to the program today. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Lance?
Pretty good. Or should we call you Heavy Early? Remember that was the name Johnny Fever took when he had to do the morning show on WKRP, a show which you probably might not remember.
I don't. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, WKRP in Cincinnati. It was on back in the 70s. I'm old. I'm sorry. But that sort of came into my mind as we were talking off air there for a minute about how early it was out where you were. Anyways, Remember the Monsters. A couple of singles out, Sync and Close Encounters. You guys have been getting like a kabillion streams on these. You got to be happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, it's moving pretty quickly and pretty smoothly, really. So we were happy with the outreach that we've had with Close Encounters. We're happy with the kind of little following we've gotten on like TikTok and things like that for Sync in particular, with like music video and stuff like that. Yeah, they're doing great.
Now Sync, I was looking back. That's your first like sort of performance where the band appears in a video, right? Because Romeo and Juliet was more of like a concept thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Sync was our first like music video where there's actual production, and with us actually all together doing it.
Cool. Is this something you guys shot yourself? Do you have some friends help you out? You got some pretty cool special effects in there.
We had a professional actually do it. Jeremy, I forget his last name. Actually, going to kill me. Trimp.
Okay.
Something like that. But he's a professional like movie guy. So he's done a lot of things like that. We actually saw some of his work and reached out to him in Phoenix and was able to snag him up for the video.
Pretty cool vid. I like the guitar toss in there. It took me back to my days of the 80s. You know, a lot of the hair bands used to do that, which was kind of cool. The over-the-shoulder guitar toss.
Tom is all about that. He absolutely loves doing those little tosses.
Cool. And I was listening to that song, Sean. I mean this with the utmost respect. This is not a cut down at all. It's a great rock song. You got some great lead. You got some killer vocals in there, but it's kind of catchy and dancey a little bit too.
Yeah, that's kind of the blend we're going for. We all like a lot of like classic rock and stuff like that, like Motley Crue. I like Jimi Hendrix, obviously everyone does, and like Dire Straits, other things like that. But yeah, we're trying to blend like the old with the new, and in a way that we don't really see too often. Is kind of the goal.
Can I throw out a comparison? And again, I mean this in total respect, because I personally, I listen to sort of everybody, To me, that song, minus the big, huge vocal harmonies that this group was sort of famous for, it almost sounds, and I'm sorry if I offend you, like Backstreet Boys on steroids.
Oh my God! Yeah, I could see that. That is interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I mean,
definitely have it.
You've definitely got the rock element. I'm hearing like early '90s, the rock stuff from there. But like I say, it's also got that little bit of melody and catch and hook in it. That as I was playing through it, I'm thinking, damn, this is a great rock song. But if I was still DJing high school dances, I would probably play this for a dance as well.
Oh yeah, it would definitely do great there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like I say,
no one would be dancing because they'd all be like on the wall, but
right.
I mean, their heads would start moving at least, so that's good.
Exactly. And like I say, total respect, total everything. I'm a big fan of all types of music, and that's just sort of a comparison I made. I thought I'd try and throw you a curve there, and see that.
Yeah, that definitely threw me off kilter slightly, but I mean, you know what? I mean, they're successful, so I guess I'll take it.
All right. A pretty radical departure, though, when you compare that song to like Romeo and Juliet, though.
Yeah, that was with our old singer. So that's we changed singers. So that's really kind of the line that's kind of in the stand on where we were going one time and where we're going now.
Yeah. Now I read the band. You're sort of more or less based out West Coast. It was Tucson. I think you're in California now, though, right? Or are you still in Tucson?
We're a little scattered right now, but we're mostly based in Tucson. I would say I'm in Tucson.
Okay.
So there's that. And most of the stuff that's happened with the band has been in Tucson or like Phoenix.
Okay.
A couple of our members are currently in different states at this point, but we're trying to get back together.
I was going to say, because your new vocalist, you mentioned him, Julian, he was from The Color You, who are based out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
How'd you guys hook up with him?
Well, when we were looking for a new singer, we sent out the Close Encounters track, actually. And at that point, we were just getting a bunch of, like, people doing their own thing to that track, and Julian sent in a video, or not video, an audio clip of him going over the whole song, and we're like, hey, this is a little different. This sounds pretty good. We all liked it and reached out to him and kind of just went on from there.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, with being sort of scattered around like you sometimes are when it comes to recording, do you all get together to record, or you do it the file sharing process and then put it all together? How's that go about?
It kind of depends. So a lot of times we'll like kind of just get like our own parts together, and then once we're getting to like the more serious like mixing, mastering, and stuff like that, then we'll all kind of get together. Usually we're kind of going to Phoenix for like with Matt Good right now. So that's kind of how that works.
Okay. Now, you've released mostly singles. Do you see a full length coming in the future?
We're hoping at some points. So we've noticed that getting singles out seems to get the most amount of like bang for your buck in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of the way that the music industry is now, because you have instant it release songs just as you go,
right?
And it kind of keeps the attention span a little bit more, because in this day and age when everyone has their cell phone in their face 24/7,
yeah,
it's a little easier to just keep your attention, because once you release an album, people sometimes don't listen to the whole thing, and we put a lot of work into each song, so we're really trying to maximize our ability to keep the attention span.
Yeah. Currently, you're unsigned. Have you gotten any attention from any labels once you put out these videos and songs?
Yeah, a couple here and there. That would probably be a better question for Dom.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't know off the top of my head, but we've definitely talked about a couple here and there.
Yeah. Like you say, the nice thing, though, is it's not like the old days where you got to wait on a label and hope that they'll put it out, hope radio will play it, hope maybe MTV will pick up a video and play it. Nowadays, you just throw it up on YouTube, you put it out on Twitter or Facebook or something, and you're like off to the races. It must be pretty cool.
It is. It's nice not having to be, I guess, like tied down in a way, to one like label, or have to like have your music censored, in one way or another. Kind of a big deal for us.
Yeah, definitely. Where did the name Remember the Monsters come from?
That came from Ashton. So he's the original founding member. I've been in the band the second longest. But that was before. That was like way back. I think he just thought it sounded cool. Mm-hmm. I think he just came up with it and was like, that sounds like a good name, and kind of just rolled with it from there. It ironically is also the last episode of Dexter. The name of that episode. Okay. But I think he came up with it before.
Very cool. Do you have any type of touring plans at all?
Right now we don't have anything like really like solid, but we're working towards those goals to start touring, the States, and hopefully eventually international at some point, because we have a pretty decent fan base overseas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing with the net, nowadays it's truly worldwide,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go down through. Get your take on the other. You say Ashton is like the founding member. So obviously he's the longest tenured member of the group, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Describe Ashton like in a couple of words.
Let's see. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know. Charming.
Okay.
Funny.
Now, is he sort of the mastermind with the music and the lyrics? Does everybody contribute, or is it?
He definitely does the majority. That's for sure. Everyone does contribute in their own way and like have opinions on things, but I would say that like most of it's Ashton, and then probably Julian after that. I would say.
Okay. How about Dominic? What's he like in a couple of words?
Energetic, and let's see what else. Energetic, fun. He's very fun. Cool guy to hang out with, and he's very professional. He's really good at just getting things together and really working towards good goals. He's an amazing person.
Nice. Jacob on drums?
So Jacob was was Ashton's drummer back in the day, and then we got rid of our current drummer a little bit ago, and so he's kind of back in the mix.
Okay.
Jake's just a great dude, really chilled, and amazing at drums.
And the new guy, Julian.
Julian is fantastic. A super interesting person. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a band with a bunch of great guys, so
Cool.
that's.
So it sounds like there's a great brotherhood, a great camaraderie. Everybody's on the same page and going.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Cool. Was the shift in sound from Romeo and Juliet, say, to Sync and Close Encounters intentional, or did it just sort of evolve?
That's a good question. I think it sort of just evolved because I don't think we really we didn't really talk like, hey, let's try this angle. Let's try making like this type of music. Let's see how this works. But I think that it was a kind of just unintentional, kind of natural kind of growth.
Yeah, cool. Latest single is Close Encounters, just released the other day or so. Really, really great tune. Love the tune. I won't make any Backstreet Boys comparisons to that one. Can you tell us a little bit about it? How it sort of evolved?
Close Encounter. I'm sorry, what?
How it sort of evolved?
How that one evolved, I would say mostly just because when we were looking for a new singer, Julian came out with that song, so that's kind of how that song evolved, and we had it for a little bit, and we're like, wait a second, we need to get this out there. So that's about how it evolved. I don't know much more to say on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, so it was something you had that was sort of like, in the incubation stage, let's say, and then Julian came along and kind of put the finishing touches on it, and
more or less.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good way to put that.
Cool. What's coming up for the future of Remember the Monsters? I realize I'm sort of rushing you here because you just barely put out a couple of tunes, but I know bands are always working. What's next for the band?
Well, we've got a couple of things going on, but I don't know what I can discuss and what I can't discuss because I'm the only one here.
I don't want to get you in any trouble, so very cool. Sean, how about you yourself? As far as how you were you always a bass player? Did you play other instruments, anything like that?
I mostly play guitar. I just find the bass a little bit more fascinating when it's more of like a group thing. I like playing guitar solo on my own.
Okay.
But yeah, bass is it's fun. I like kind of like just keeping the band together. It's like the glue.
Yeah.
That's kind of how my life is with everything. I usually just am the glue that keeps things together.
That's cool.
So I guess I just kind of identify with it a little bit. But yeah, I got in the band after I met Ashton, and then that's just kind of how it went. And then I found a couple of our other members, and then the line has changed a couple times here and there. But yeah. Nice.
If you were to have a youngster come up to you and say, when I get bigger and stuff, or when I learn I really want to be a bass player in a band, what would you tell him made a great bass player?
Just get into the rhythm.
Yeah. Cool. I always like to. Did I call you Ashton or did I call you Sean?
I'm Sean.
Okay, you're right. When I asked you that question, though, I didn't call you Ashton, did I? Shoot.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you didn't. I didn't notice that. But another little tip on that is Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay, very good.
There you go.
Very good.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
But then again, I don't really know how I feel about saying Kiss to like a random kid that just walks up. But
Right.
I'll probably just say keep it simple, stupid, and then probably just get in trouble for calling him stupid because it's it's 2019 and everything's offensive.
Yeah. That's a whole other conversation we could talk a long time on, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sean, I always like to wrap up interviews with sort of some fun questions. I'm hoping these are questions that you've never been asked before.
All right.
Favorite toppings for your pizza?
Oh, God. Okay, everyone's going to think I'm weird, but I love anchovies on my pizza.
All right. Late night TV, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon?
I'm just going to listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay. Sounds good. Earliest musical memory?
Earliest. I would have to say it would be Alan Parsons' project, Eye in the Sky, with my dad.
Nice. Favorite toy growing up is...
No one has any idea what that is.
I'm sorry, I stepped on your words. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. No one has any idea what that band is, probably. Everyone's like, what's that?
Well, hopefully you'll introduce, somebody to the Alan Parsons Project, because I love Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, they're amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Favorite toy growing up as a child?
God. I'm just going to say Transformers.
Okay. Last one, and this is the one we have the most fun with, and I was asking this long before all those biopics have started coming out. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you have play you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
I would either pick Johnny Depp or Brad Pitt, for sure.
A lot of rockers go with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
A lot of people go with Johnny Depp, so very cool.
I mean, he's just such an attractive male, so, yeah.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong. It's like, I kind of want to be Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Wait a second, this is my life.
Exactly. Well, we've been chatting with Sean, bass player for Remember the Monsters here. We've gotten in some great references. WKRP in Cincinnati. We got the Alan Parsons Project. Good quality conversation, I think, Sean.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we look forward to hearing what comes next from Remember the Monsters. You can listen to Close Encounters or Sync or any of the other tracks. You've got them up on Spotify. They're up on YouTube. Video for Sync came out just a little while ago. Close Encounters released just the other day, wasn't it?
It was, I think it was actually last month, but yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yeah, fairly recent. And good luck to you and the band out there.
All right, thank you, Lance. Appreciate it. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.